So, James Gunn's Superman is out, and it has been for a couple days now. I'm a bit tardy to the party, I know, but, you know, I've kind of stayed out of the discourse about Superman because, from my perspective, it's really silly. Just people complaining that it's not Snyder enough or some comic shit. I think the movie is very good. Not a perfect movie by any margin. I would give it like a 6, 7 out of 10. I think it was very enjoyable, quite fine. However, you don't have to look far to find people that do not like the movie the same way that a rational person would. Out there in this world, there are people like Ranting for Vengeance who didn't watch the movie and still hate it anyways. Let's see what this fella's got to say.
James Gunn's Superman is the worst fucking movie that's ever been made.
So, right off the bat, I really truly believe that this video is entirely bait. I don't think he thinks any of these things. However, it is just so unbelievably insane, the shit that he says in this video, that I'm still just gonna talk about it anyways. I'm taking the bait, you know. I'm sure this guy just wanted people to talk about him, and you know what? This video is gonna be seen by like 23 people, so I don't really think this is gonna do the type of PR that he would hope it would. Obviously, don't attack this guy, but don't go sub to him either. But yeah, right off the bat, he says James Gunn's Superman is the worst movie ever made. And that is just a giant load of hogs trollop. Have we all forgotten about Food Fight, the goddamn NVIDIA tech demo from like 1998? That shit fucking blows cock. And I would consider that to be a much, much worse movie than Superman 2025. I would consider Superman much better than Food Fight, or even like The Room or some shit. There are way worse movies out there, my man. And I know you know that. And I know everyone watching knows that. But holy shit, what just a stupid claim to start out the video.
I stay true to what I said. While it's closed, I'm not giving money to James Gunn, the Freak, or DC. But I did watch Superman fully somehow.
He pirated the movie, which, you know, by all means, sail the 7 seas. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But the movie just came out, so I know that whatever way he watched it, it was most likely not in good quality. So, I mean, he wasn't really doing himself many favors by pirating it. You just shell out the $10 for a movie ticket, dude. You'd think if he cared this passionately, he'd actually see it in a format that is like, you know, actually good. You know, again, there's nothing wrong with pirating. There is absolutely nothing wrong with pirating. By all means, do it. But not when a movie just comes out. And that's for your own good, because it looks like shit. It's usually like a phone recording of a movie, you know. This shit is bad, unless I'm just looking in the wrong places.
Before we go any further, just be warned that this is not hyperbole. This is not rage bait. This movie is a disgrace to filmmaking.
So he claims that it's not rage bait or like made up or whoops. Well, I stopped recording. That was a whoops. So he claims that this isn't rage bait or hyperbole or anything like that. He just really truly thinks this movie is that fucking bad. I genuinely cannot believe that. There is no fucking way that a human being with a working eyes and brain, even if you didn't like the movie, and that's fine, you're allowed to not like the movie, but to go to this extent, to say it is the worst piece of cinema ever created by man, is just fucking stupid. Like, I can't say anything else to dispute that fact. He is just genuinely a fucking idiot.
So there's been a lot of reviews from everybody all across the internet, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these people are just lying because they don't want to destroy the movie. People are saying it isn't woke and it isn't even that bad. Some people are saying it's a 10 out of 10 that's better than Iron Man, Avengers Endgame. And I'm here to tell you that everybody on all sides of this are lying.
I'm gonna keep saying this because I'm genuinely in awe at how a human being could hold these opinions. Again, you're allowed to dislike the movie, but the amount of passion and hatred he has is just so entirely unwarranted. I don't know who he thinks he is, like fucking Roger Ebert or some shit, but slow your fucking roll, brother. Believe it or not, people like good movies, which is what Superman is. It is a good movie.
If you watch this movie, try to make out the structure. Who greenlit this script? Is there a beginning, a middle, or even an end? Or are we just dropped into the worst movie ever created by man?
Well, I can tell you that there is a beginning, middle, and end because it has a start point, a middle point, and an end point. Now, does it get to all of these things super smoothly? No, but there is definitely a beginning, middle, and end. That is for sure. Once a fucking again, I don't want to be the Superman cockrider, but this is just so uncharitable and a stupid fucking thing to say. It does not matter how much he dislikes this movie, it is just objectively fucking wrong that this is the worst movie ever made. Now, spoiler alert, I have seen this video before because it pissed me off. You know, essentially, he doesn't give a single logical good reason for anything he says. Not one time does he provide any type of, at least true evidence or anything of the sort. He just sort of says it and he just expects you to go along with it, not questioning anything.
This was a piece of crap, and I can't really stress it enough. There's pieces of crap, and then there's this movie. It's really easy for a movie to be bad. Superman, on the other hand, is like the Flash times 1,000.
He keeps saying shit like this, that, you know, oh, there's bad movies out there, but nothing is quite as bad as Superman. And then he doesn't provide a single reason why. He just says, oh, it's bad. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. Can you believe that they allowed something like this to be made? But I'm not going to provide any reasons why the movie is bad, but it's really bad. It's the worst ever made. You'd think, right, that if it was actually bad, you could provide especially, right? If it was the worst movie ever made, you could provide a multitude of reasons why it sucks and why it's the worst movie ever made. But because Superman is not that, he cannot provide a single logical, sound reason for why it's bad, because it's not.
There's no structure, there's no writing, there's no acting. The CGI is terrible. There's so much comedy, it'll make you want to pluck your own eyes out.
I truly, from the bottom of my heart, believe we did not watch the same movie. Because the acting is good. The CGI, while sometimes noticeable, is still pretty good. You know, it's absolutely serviceable for what it needs to do.
Every time Superman even comes close to doing anything that's anyway good, he just gets knocked over by a dog.
You dumb son of a bitch. He's not just a dog. That's Krypto the fucking super dog. Alright? He's a super dog. Much like Superman is a Superman. He's much stronger and smarter than your average dog. So obviously, Krypto would be, you know, a bit of a dickhead. And he's also, once again, a dog with his own personality. So, you know, the super dog with super strength is gonna fuck around with the Superman. Is it so insane that when Superman gets bit by his super dog, it hurts him a little bit? Oh man. How dare they? They massacred Superman.
There's lesbian girl bosses running around. There's an emphasis on Gen Z and TikTok for some reason.
There must be something in the water.
So the engineer, that's her name, right? I have no fucking clue. Is not a lesbo. Or at least that's never brought up in the movie, ever. And I do not know where he got this claim from. Maybe it's because her hair looks so goofy? I have no fucking clue. I mean, I don't mean to be a dick, but it's just not my preferred hairstyle. That's just another one of his insane, stupid, just pull out of his ass claims that just completely kill any credibility he could have. With every inane comment that dribbles out of his mouth, it further nails the coffin shut.
Superman is whining for the entire movie. His voice is so high-pitched and the dude never stops screaming and being autistic. I don't know how I can say it anymore. This movie is the most retarded thing to ever exist.
Tell me, when the fuck does Superman whine? I can't remember a single point in the movie. It's been almost a week now, so maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I might need to see it again. But remind me, at any point in the movie where Superman whines and screams like an autistic child. That doesn't fucking happen. You can't name a single time in the movie where that happens, because that doesn't fucking happen. Again, he's just making up stupid bullshit to make the movie seem bad. And it's just a genuine blatant lie.
Genuinely, I've watched a lot of movies from many different countries, time periods. I'm not bragging here. I'm just saying that I know that Superman is probably in the top 3 worst of all of them.
You clearly have not watched movies then. I'm not a huge movie guy, I wish I was. And probably judging by my Jar Jar Binks t-shirt, I don't have the best taste in movies. But I can tell you, even with my limited palate, that this movie is neither incredible or shit. It is... It's kind of like it's in there somewhere, but it's far closer to great than it is bad.
It literally has some of the worst CGI in a new movie, and I'm not alone on this.
Wrong! That's just completely wrong. He mentions The Flash. He literally mentions The Flash in this movie, and how this movie is worse than The Flash. The CGI is not perfect. I would not claim that it's perfect. No movie has perfect CGI. Unless it's Mad Max Fury Road. But the CGI in Superman is far from bad. In fact, I think it's probably some of the best that we've seen in a while.
So people will jump to Rotten Tomatoes right here and try to prove me wrong, saying that, what are you saying, little bro? The movie is a success. 95 on the audience score. Everybody loves it. I looked through that audience score. It was a big load of bots that loved Krypto, the little cute dog, which was one of the most retarded parts about the entire movie.
So if you like Krypto, the cute dog, you're just a bot. Very interesting. Just remember that little factoid. Just keep that in the back of your brain for a claim he makes later.
You come over to a real source like, I don't know, Empire Magazine, and they have it rated 2 out of 5 stars. Saying exactly what I'm saying. The movie is so messy and garbage. The end of the movie is just a CGI mess. The Guardian, 2 out of 5 stars. I don't really know what people are seeing here, but it's getting destroyed. Another news source says it's painfully mediocre. Another news source rates it 2.5 stars out of 5. I don't know what I'm missing here.
So he throws away the Rotten Tomatoes score, the very high audience score, because they like Krypto. And then he goes and finds review articles, like review news articles, and I just have to wonder, who fucking cares? Honestly. Who cares what a news publication has to say about a movie? I certainly don't. I have never ever once in my life gone to The Guardian or literally anything else he fucking named. I have no idea. Anything he mentioned besides The Guardian, no one has ever fucking heard of in their life. I wouldn't be surprised if he just like wrote those articles himself and just pasted them in there just to really prove himself right.
The movie isn't some 10 out of 10. Everybody knows it's spasticated.
It's not a 10 out of 10. It's like a 6 or a 7, which is not bad. I am so fucking tired of people just assuming that like 7, oh, it's a bad movie then? No! 7 is good. 7 is good.
Now, I'd love to go in depth and show everything on screen, but I just need to tell you, for the people who haven't watched this movie, how ridiculously bad this is. For the first hour of the movie, Superman is on the ground screaming and whining.
I get why he's not showing clips. You know, you don't want to get a knock on your door from the DC hitmen. But it's very convenient. It is so unbelievably convenient that he's not showing clips, so he can just blatantly lie about the entire movie. The whole thing. Every aspect of the movie he just lies about through his soulless dead teeth.
That's not a joke, it's not rage bait. He literally doesn't get up off of the ground for a full 60 minutes. He's in some pocket wormhole universe, and in that universe, Lex Luthor, who is terrible and gay by the way, for some reason.
Before he gets to what is possibly the most insane part of the whole video, he just mentions how Superman just doesn't get up off the ground while he's in the pocket dimension, and how Lex Luthor is terrible and gay. Both things are not true. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is fucking incredible. He is an amazing actor and did a great job. And once again, he's pulling these homosexual allegations out of his ass like anal beads, because there is no allusion to Lex Luthor being gay. The closest thing is that he's jealous of Superman for being strong.
He just shows up and shows Superman that everybody online trying to cancel Superman, typing angry comments, aren't actually real. They're a big load of monkeys typing at a keyboard. No, that's not a joke. I didn't make that up. James Gunn is saying that everybody hating and review bombing Superman are monkeys. So let me just do the math real quick. He's not only calling me and everybody who doesn't like the movie a monkey. If you're an Indian kid or if you're a black person who said something on Twitter against James Gunn, he thinks you're a monkey. That's really not a good look.
Wow. Call it Christmas Day, because there's a lot to unwrap here. Once again, we're tapping into spoilers here, but it's kind of inconsequential. So, in the pocket dimension, yes, Lex Luthor has an army of monkeys typing hate comments for Superman. It was just kind of silly. It got a little giggle out of me, you know? It's like, clearly, that was supposed to be nothing but a joke. The movie does not make the claim that everyone hating on Superman is a monkey. It's just a silly visual gag about how obsessed with taking down Superman Lex Luthor is. And it would be a significantly less notable joke. Here's just an empty room full of computers typing shit out by themselves like a fucking CSGO bot network. That would not be very interesting. So obviously, to spice up the joke a little bit, we refer back to the old idiom of typewriters and monkeys. Is that so insane? Now, what is insane is the claim that he makes. He took what was the very simple gag of just monkeys sitting in front of computers typing hate comments. Somehow, he was able to just twist and turn that into some gobbledygook about James Gunn calling anyone who dislikes this movie, especially Indian boys or African Americans, monkeys. What? I don't really think I even need to break this down, how just genuinely insane that is. That's something that you could only come up with as like satire. But I've been talking about this for like 20 minutes. Let's move on.
And speaking of not good looks, David Cornsweet looks about 400 pounds in the terribly made suit.
Wrong. The suit looks good. I like it. And David Cornsweet is very good as Superman.
Every single person in Metropolis is Indian and play really big parts in the movie. Like some random Indian convenience store worker or something comes up and just says something to Superman and ends up in the plot of the movie. The dude is the linchpin of the entire movie somehow.
Is it so unrealistic that there's a like a mixed community in a city? And why is it so wrong that an Indian convenience store worker, I don't think that's what he was, but I think we'll let the casual racism slide this one time. I mean, the whole point of that character is to show that Superman cares about anyone, random people in his life that he's met once, that he cares about. Again, dipping into spoilers, I'm just gonna warn you every time we get there. Ultimately, that man's fate is getting shot by Lex Luthor right in front of Superman. It was a moment to help him grow. It's not like they were just randomly injecting an Indian man. Oh, what a crime. He had a purpose.
This is a disgrace to making movies in general. People talk about how bad Deadpool and Wolverine was. It had no story. It was just cameos for the entire thing. This is the exact same and 10 times worse.
It's just baseless accusations. Once again, it's not a cameo fest like Deadpool and Wolverine. I love Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a great movie. Yes, there is a lot to pick apart. There is no logical story. It's really unsatisfying, honestly, and the multiverse shit, it's kind of annoying. But as a whole, it's a very enjoyable movie, and it's one of my favorite theater experiences I've had. And that movie was a cameo fest. And maybe I'm just missing some things, but I don't think Superman is that. Obviously, there's some recognizable names and characters, but it's nowhere near as like fan servicey as Deadpool and Wolverine is.
We see here we're going to be getting spin-offs with Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen. These people weren't scene stealers like people are going to try to tell you online. Mr. Terrific was some black dude who had some ridiculously caricature accent of like a preacher down south. And also he had more screen time than Superman.
Well, I'm going to be one of those online idiots that'll tell you that Mr. Terrific is like goddamn the best part of the movie. He's fucking awesome. He is so goddamn cool, and if he's getting a TV spinoff, that's great.
And you see some handicap here. Don't let anybody tell you nobody cares about Superman. Are you blind? I just showed you 20 reviews from massive news sources that all just said it was a 2 out of 5.
Are you goddamn handicapped? If you really, truly get any value out of a fucking news source movie review, you are the problem. Nobody else. I would not give a shit if it was a 5-star, 6-star review. If you want an actual credible review, Find someone who shares your taste a little bit and get their opinion. But once again, this guy has shit taste and doesn't know anything about movies. So his most pertinent point, the thing that he brings up the most, is how there are, negative reviews from credible sources. Suck my cock. Just see the movie for yourself and form your own opinion. And if you don't want to do that right away, get the opinion from someone you trust, not an article no one has ever heard of before.
I really don't know what I'm missing here. This movie was the biggest heap of shit I've ever watched. At first I found it funny to just laugh at it from the trailers, but watching it, it was just so bad I couldn't even believe it.
I genuinely want to watch this movie through his brain-dead, soulless eyes, because once again, we did not watch the same movie. Like, you really have to be a super cynical asshole to just go into a genuinely good-looking movie and just laugh at it, right? Of course, you absolutely can laugh at shitty movies, but this is not one of those. You have to genuinely try and convince yourself that this is a bad movie to think that it is a bad movie.
How did a movie like this ever get greenlit? So much focus on comedy and random dogs banging into people.
Do I even need to say at this point, it's just blatant lies, once again, to make the movie look bad? Random dogs smacking into people, that is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Krypto will attack people if provoked or encouraged to, but there's no humor in that except for the one time that admittedly it does cheapen the scene entirely. It is very major and does completely ruin the scene, but it doesn't ruin the movie.
And Superman whining and screaming and crying. This is beyond Marvel humor. I don't think anybody could excuse this.
He makes Superman out to be like this immature child who can't keep himself under control, or else he bursts out into tears and starts crying and coming into his boxers. Like, yes, the movie does portray him as a bit naive and childish, but in a completely different way. Superman sees the good in everyone and believes that everyone should be saved or can be saved. And that is the childlike ideals that he holds, or at least that's what we're meant to think is the naive part of Superman. But that's kind of his greatest strength, really. And he does not fucking cry and scream the whole movie. I don't even know where he gets that from.
Superman is an objectively terrible movie. If you're a movie critic or you consider yourself anti-woke and you're saying that this movie is just okay, it's not even that bad, it's not even woke, I don't know what's wrong with you up here, but you need to wake up. Quality was just non-existent with James Gunn's Superman. Do not watch this movie.
I ask you, Mr. Cock in the Shadows, whatever the fuck your name is, why don't you open your eyes and wake up? Because you must have been asleep, dreaming up a worse movie than you actually watched. And you, my wonderful Irish friend, are insane in the membrane.
Do not take your kids to go see it.
There's one thing we can agree on. Don't take your kids to see this movie. Don't take your kids to see any fucking movie. Well, I was in the theater. Basically, the entire goddamn time, there was this bitch-ass baby fucking crying and screaming. And I just have to wonder, why do movie theaters allow children? This should be like a 16-plus environment, at least. It happened in Deadpool and Wolverine, and it happened here. I am tired of sharing a theater with children, especially at movies they should not be at. Or I have another idea. If children have to be in a movie theater, let's get like a nursery or some shit. Something that just like or like a cold basement to lock them in, or just something to get them the hell out of the way.
So Superman's original parents and Krypton just go straight out the window. Spoiler alert, sorry to break it to you, but his parents are just evil for some reason. And then his fake parents down on Earth are two handicaps.
It's very interesting how he says fake parents, because one of the important parts of this movie, literally one of the last scenes, is that Superman recognizes and realizes and truly takes to heart that the parents he has on Earth are his real parents. I just find it interesting that you word it like that, because that was a very clear message of the movie.
MAGA today was getting a little upset that he called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
Somebody needs a hug.
I find it so poetic and funny that the only part of the movie that he enjoyed is directly like just shitting on him. I love that. I love that so much. I know for a fact when he was editing in that like Zoom or like the text or whatever, He had to do it through watery eyes.
Stop coping and saying that James Gunn is a great filmmaker. I've watched most of the guy's movies. Not one of them is good.
Wrong! Have you ever seen either of the Scooby-Doo movies? Nope, didn't think so. Because if you did, you would be a die-hard James Gunn superfan like me.
So finally, for the last time, do not watch Superman. It's genuinely, truthfully, sincerely one of the worst things I've ever seen. And if you're a real fan that already knew that, then thanks for watching and maybe consider subscribing. And if you're one of those woke retards who liked it, stick it up your ass. Go complain to your boyfriend.
Ooh, he really got me there. Oh, fuck, he's so cool. And he uses the rock and roll at the end. And he flips off the camera too with his stubby little finger. I could say the exact same thing about this video and probably your channel as a whole. And I can say that because I'm punching up. I think just to spite this fucker, I'm gonna go see the movie again in like Turbo IMAX or some shit. I will personally donate to James Gunn's PayPal just to spite this man. He may have pirated it, but I will give James Gunn 10 of my dollars just to pay for his fucking ticket. Because this is a good movie that deserves to be seen. It deserves to do well because it's a movie made with heart. And it's a Superman that is genuine and really well played. And it's a very fun movie. It's enjoyable. If you don't like the movie, that's fine. But also have a little bit of fun every once in a while, would you?